Hello, welcome back to A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. I'm Reverend Tomas, and thank you all for joining me, and especially thank you to all of the recent subscribers and those of you who have viewed and commented on this channel. It's really important for me to serve as a guide. This is part of what I do as a teacher. And if you have particular thoughts that you want to share, questions, or additional comments, something like that, feel welcome to reach out. Please do, by all means. So we are going through the principles of miracles. It's after the introduction to the text of A Course in Miracles. It's the very first section. You'll notice there are 50 of them. So we've been proceeding 5 at a time, and I'm hitting the highlights each day, taking our time to do this because this is foundational and it's also information packed. So in hitting the highlights of paragraphs 41 through 45 today, we're going to be talking about lack, and we're also going to be talking about this sense and a certainty that I hope you develop, that nothing is ever lost or wasted on the spiritual path. This is fun, it's exciting, and it's really cool. But very important practical considerations. So with lack, we're talking about the perception of lack, and the miracle corrects or atones for the perception of lack. So let's think about this. You may be in a situation in this life where you have lots of money. You may be. You may be what we consider in the world comfortable in terms of a nice house, in terms of a cool car, plenty to eat, nice water to drink, and nice wine, or something like that. Yeah, you may have your material needs met, and maybe you don't, or maybe you're somewhere along the spectrum that we've created for ourselves here in the world. But we, in this world, feel something's missing. Even if we're rich and wealthy, there is a sense of lack. There's a sense of incompleteness. It plays out in many ways in the world. People always want more. Even someone who's fabulously wealthy wants more, and you can see from their actions and what they actually say that they're afraid of losing it and want more. Always more, 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 more. I repeat that for effect. Anytime you get that sense, you can be sure that this person is very, very identified with the ego. Now, and if you're saying it, guess what? That applies to you, right? It does. If we correctly perceived ourselves as not lacking anything, why would we want more of something? Why would we want more food? Why would we want more money? Why would we want a bigger garage to house all of our fancy new vehicles? Why would we want more of anything if we perceived ourselves as not lacking? So, forgiveness, our practice of forgiveness, helps us to correct this perception. So, as we identify with the ego here in the world, part of that is a sense of lack. This is part of what drives us to spiritual practice in a way, isn't it? We talk about on this video series, hearing your inner teacher, listening to this deep inner voice, which may be nothing but a passing thought on a given day, that there's got to be more to it than this. We also recognize with that this voice is right. There is not only more to it than that, but there's something missing in our way of operating in the world. And we know it deep down. We could try to deny it as long as we want. And of course, we're all welcome to delay our awakening as long as we want. Though once you begin to enter the path and apply these teachings, you begin to wonder why you would delay another 15 seconds, much less lifetimes, right? One develops the joy of practice and the habitual methods of practice, i.e., forgiveness, and you want to keep doing it. But there's a lack, and miracles correct that. In truth, there is no lack at all, is there? There isn't any. This is just the way that we perceive it in the world. As one with our Creator, one with God, perfect, healed, and whole, how can there be any lack? We forgive, we extend love, we give the miracle so that we may see this in our own experience. What the miracle expresses is our inner awareness, this deep inner awareness of Christ, of the Son of God, the thought of God, if you prefer, the extension of God, if you prefer that descriptor. Ideas leave not their source. Our forgiveness demonstrates an awareness of this, even if it's fleeting in the moment, even if it's just momentary and apparently tangential, it means a lot. That's where we're going next. Nothing is ever lost. Nothing is ever wasted on the spiritual path. I'd like to spend the rest of this conversation today talking about this very subject, because it's a big one, isn't it? It's huge. Yeah. What I'm referring to here is paragraph 45. Miracles are never lost. Nothing's ever wasted or lost on the spiritual path. So a bit of context from my own experience here. I have had my own personal meditation practice since the mid-1980s, since I was a sophomore in high school. And I developed this in what may seem like a highly unlikely place. High school geometry class. Really, I was a sophomore in high school, and in geometry, I had a teacher who was an old hippie and loved meditation, loved seated meditation. In fact, he practiced, I believe, Zen Buddhism, which he rarely talked about that, his own spirituality in class, because we were looking at the Pythagorean theorem and proofs and all that geometrical stuff that I barely remember at 51. But what struck me was that he would have us meditate in class, just for a little bit, but slow, deliberate breaths to which we would pay attention. Meditation. And to my great surprise, as plenty of people, sophomores in high school, rolled their eyes, laughed, and made fart noises with their arm and things like that, threw spit wads, thought about anything, right? Sophomores in high school. To my great surprise, I found myself really connecting with this practice, deeply resonating with it. And there, as a weird and, well, naturally hormonal sophomore in high school, I found myself oddly connected to the practice of seating seated meditation, sitting meditation. I mean, you can do it standing up. You can do it while you're at your stand-up desk. You can do it while walking. You can do it anywhere, really. But traditional seated meditation, I found myself oddly drawn to this. This is the inner voice that I keep talking about. My inner teacher saying, yes, this is familiar. Do this. So I've been doing it since the mid-1980s. And I've been teaching meditation for the last few years. And what people frequently discuss, what people have brought to me in this context, is a sense that it's not working. It's a sense that all of this effort is completely for naught because things still bother somebody, right? They still bother. They still get mad. They still get angry. And there is a common enough sensation that this isn't getting you anywhere. First of all, paragraph 45, miracles are never lost. They're never wasted. This is one thing that I say to people. Nothing is ever wasted in spiritual practice, in meditation or yoga. Nothing is ever wasted. In forgiveness, in the extension of love, in the practice of true forgiveness, as A Course in Miracles presents it, nothing is ever wasted. Our forgiveness has an impact, whether we can see the tangible effects or not. Let's just remember that a miracle stands outside of our ordinary perception. It's reminding us of who we are, and our apparently simple act of forgiveness can have broad-reaching effects on people we will never meet, in places that we'll never visit. They can have completely unseen and entirely unforeseen effects. We don't even have to be consciously aware of them. Here's what's going on with our forgiveness done in the manner that this course teaches us, under the guidance of our inner teacher. What we're forgiving is an appearance. It's an outward appearance, like the image on a screen, on a YouTube screen, on your smartphone or your laptop, like a movie. We're forgiving what appears to be outside of us, that comes into our conscious awareness. What's going on is the Holy Spirit does the healing, the deep healing. Our inner teacher is doing the deeper healing. Our part is comparatively so small. With this deeper healing that's done on our unconscious mind, unconscious, we're not aware of it, there is a depth of healing going on that is phenomenal and far-reaching throughout space and time, all of our illusions. We're forgiving the corresponding image on the screen. And when we do this, when we recognize that this is a dream and forgive our brother, when we forgive ourselves for dreaming it, how about that? When we trust in the strength of our inner teacher, we undergo a deep healing, the effects of which we're not consciously aware. Every single time, and this course reassures us of this in so many ways, many, many ways. Nothing is ever lost. So let's just reiterate what we talked about in the last video, because it's very important to us as a practical matter on the path. Because don't you have days, right? Don't you have days where it feels like this isn't working and you wonder why the hell you're doing it in the first place, because you're not seeing any discernible effects? Well, let's all remind ourselves this course is done at the level of the mind, not the outer, apparently outer physical world. If you forgive somebody who indulges in troublesome behavior, let's say they're abusive, or you don't know them and you can still tell they're abusive because they're, let's say, running for political office, and every time they're offered a microphone, they say something abusive, right? There are plenty of examples of that in today's world. Let's say you're forgiving someone and their behavior continues. What you don't consciously know is the depth of healing that's being brought about by your forgiveness. It's not designed to have an immediate, tangible effect on the illusion of the outside world. This course, A Course in Miracles, operates at the level of cause, mind. The outer world, as we see it and experience it, is an effect, mind, the cause, the projector, if you will. And the supposed outer world that we mistake for reality are the images on the screen. My hope in offering these words is to give you a sense of hope, of positivity, and an inspiration to continue to practice. Nothing is ever lost. No act of forgiveness, no matter how small, is ever lost. Paragraph 1, sentence 1, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. One's not bigger than another. One's not grander than another. One's not more impressive than another. One doesn't confer on you a higher status than another. And one is definitely not sexier and hotter than another. Not at all. They're all the same. So let's all keep going. Let's keep going. Keep forgiving. It's operating on levels that you cannot even imagine, profoundly. Let's trust in that. All right. So, subscription button is right down here, the little red arrow. I'd love to have you on here. I am so happy to bring you my experience and this course. I'm happy to share with you. It's a delight to have you all here with me. And as always, I invite comments and questions. So if you've got them, please leave them. You can certainly find me on social media. My Facebook account was created before I became Reverend Tomas Garza. So it's just under Tomas Garza. And you can certainly leave comments for me here on YouTube. If I can be of assistance to you on your journey in any way, I hope that you'll please reach out and let me know that. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you again very soon.